Now let's go to the United States. A bill that could lead to a ban on TikTok has passed through the House of Representatives overnight. Lawmakers want to force the company's Chinese owner to sell off its stake in the app or be banned in the United States. Big story. Our North America correspondent Barbara Miller joins us from Washington. Barbara, good morning. So, will TikTok be banned? What's the feeling there?
I don't think it's going to be banned anytime soon, but there are very strong feelings here on Capitol Hill about the app, and we saw very broad bipartisan support for this bill. As you say, if it becomes law, it would mean that TikTok's parent company ByteDance had less than 6 months to sell its share in the app. If it doesn't do that, then a ban would come into place. And what lawmakers say is that the app represents a national security threat. They're afraid that users' data could be accessed and exploited by the Chinese government. So really, 350 people voting in favour, 352 in favour of this bill, 65 against. The bill now goes to the Senate, though. It's not clear how quickly the Senate will take up the bill and what its fate in the Senate might be. But as I say, strong feelings in the House. Let's get a flavour of those who spoke ahead of the vote earlier today.
TikTok is a threat to our national security because it is owned by ByteDance, which does the bidding of the Chinese Communist Party. We know this because ByteDance leadership says so and because Chinese law requires it. This bill therefore forces TikTok to break up with the Chinese Communist Party. It does not apply to American companies.
Americans have the right to view information. We don't need to be protected by the government from information. Some of us just don't want the president picking which apps we can put on our phones or which websites that we can visit.
OK, that's some of the debate on the floor of the House. Barbara, what has TikTok had to say?
Well, ByteDance has always said that it doesn't give the Chinese government any data and wouldn't do so if asked. TikTok has said in response to today's vote that it's calling on senators now to listen to its constituents. TikTok's been essentially lobbying its many users here. Its adult users have been getting a message ahead of the vote in the House saying that they should contact their member of Congress and speak out against the passing of this bill. We might see similar tactics continuing as the Senate moves to consider the bill. And we also heard ahead of the vote from the Chinese government, the foreign ministry spokesman accusing the US of bullying behaviour, and the Chinese government, Michael, saying that ultimately, were this ever to become law, the US would only harm itself.